Mercedes was great, just a really good human, and I think, we appreciate what she gave us, and she was a great culture person and really great in the locker room. I think it's just, and I'm learning all this in terms of cap space and deadlines and dates and all that. So, that's more of a GM question than me, but certainly enjoyed having Sadie's on our team. Yes, hopefully, Sania's going to get an opportunity. Not hopefully, she will get an opportunity, and hopefully she's, I know she's ready. She's been doing a good job in staying engaged. It's hard. It's hard as a rookie, anyways, and it's hard when you're not playing to stay engaged. And she's done a good job with that. So, I think this will give her a chance to kind of learn by being out there a little bit more and playing through mistakes and just getting the intensity and the speed of things. So, look forward to seeing that.
Hi, Coach.
Hello.
Carly, 5360 News. Following up to that question, I don't know if you heard one of your former players was also waived recently. So I wanted to see any thoughts for the current and are you, you do release a bid, so I'm not sure if that is going with the roster, but she's a totally different type of bid.
Yeah, Peely's I love her like a kid of my own. I don't know what we're going to do. Again, GM question. We should bring Reagan up here, give her the hard-hitting questions. She'll end up somewhere, and, maybe someday I'll get to coach her again. But, this is part of the process in this league, unfortunately, for young guys. So she's a hell of a player. She really is. So she'll land on her feet.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey Lynn, last game, season high in assists and threes. I know those numbers are somewhat correlated, but those are two stats you look at in the signs of a good offense. So what led to those being successful?
Well, I think when we're kind of in attack mode and playing with the pace we want, basketball is a simple game. It's about creating an advantage, whether you set a ball screen to create an advantage, or cutting, you can create an advantage, or just create one on your own to get the defense rotating. That's what we try to do. We try to do it quickly, and then you just make the defense wrong. If they stay out on shooters, then you get to the bucket. If they don't, then you kick it out, and you've got to be able to make those reads. So for us, that's that the best shots from three are catch and shoot. It's just statistically, analytically, every way you look at it. So anytime we can create a catch and shoot three, we're going to try to do it. So that's why, to me, adding Van Loo was so important. She has the ability to really do that. You saw that last game. We've got to clean up the turnovers, but we shot 50, 40, 90 against Minnesota, but we can't turn it over 20 whatever % of our possessions.
Coach John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. We were talking yesterday. Can you kind of talk to me a little bit more, just a matter of hours before this game, about the urgency and the energy and the effort and everything you want to see defensively against a team that is bottom of the standings, but we see they're hungry, and every once in a while they're catching some teams above them and catching them sleeping. They're beating them. Yeah,
and if we're not hungry, then we've got a problem. We need to be playing starving like that too, and we've seen stretches of it. I was disappointed in when Minnesota went on their run. Kind of our intensity died. We kind of got punched in the face, theoretically, and we didn't respond right. And so today, what I'm hoping is that we have a little bit of a pissed off group that understands where we, dropped the ball. Again, I don't know what day we played. Thursday. On Thursday. So we're not in a situation to overlook anyone, and if we're doing that, I don't think we are. I haven't sensed that from any player, but Connecticut's in a similar situation where they're fighting for every win, and I'm sure we'll get their best effort. And good grief, they should. I hope they get ours.
Justin, here's my
Coach.
Hey, Justin.
There's only a couple of games left before the All-Star break. Are there potential pitfalls or complications with keeping a team kind of focused on the task at hand when there is a break coming up in about a week?
Potentially. I haven't seen it. I have not sensed that at all. Maybe Tuesday's game would bring a little of that more potentially, but What I do love about this group is they want to do right. They want to succeed. They want to get this franchise back where it belongs, and we will get it there. Like, we will. But, it's a process, and so, you cannot think about a break when you're trying to prove yourself and establish yourself in this league. So my hope is that we look at it, let's empty the tank for 48 hours, 72 hours, and then enjoy the break. And that's how I'm approaching it, but, it's really not like they get a ton of time either. It's 4 days, something like that, which is in this league a long time. It's an eternity. But, we need to take care of business and be present.
Coach, Mike here, Matthew, LA Sparks Weekly. With you guys coming up close to the All-Star break and, wanting to fight to possibly get into the playoffs there at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Do you look at these two games kind of as must-wins?
Yeah, I hesitate saying must win. I think we're approaching them all as the same, But yeah, I mean, for us to make the playoffs, we're 20 games in, our record is not what I wanted it to be, but it is what it is, and we can still do that. We can still make the playoffs. But we got to, so when you use the word urgency or must wins, like, we've got to start it now, right? So there's urgency now. But I'm such a believer in being present, and if you think about all you're thinking about is making the playoffs, then it's going to be really hard to win today. So we got to just focus on Connecticut, and then wake up tomorrow and focus on Washington. So it's one game at a time. And I know those are coaching cliches, but it's for a reason.
You're Gordon with the LA Times. Coach, I have two questions. Super different. But my first question is, your first year the head coach of this program, what has challenged or surprised you the most on a professional bench compared to the NCAA? My second question is, you have good relationships with Corey Close and with Lindsey Gottlieb. In what ways have you guys worked together to kind of elevate women's basketball in LA, especially how much talent there is at the young age?
What's been the biggest surprise, like just kind of from college to pros? I don't know if it's been like a surprise but the players are so good, at every team. To make a team in this league, you have to be really good. So that part for me, as a basketball nerd, is really fun. I enjoy the pace is different, not just the pace of the games, 24-second shot clock. It's just a lot faster, which I love, but also the pace of games, just how many games you're playing in a kind of a compacted time frame. But I like that too. In terms of LA basketball, I competed in the Pac-12 against Lindsey and Corey for years, and even when Lindsey was at Cal. And so they are good friends of mine, and I do know that all three of us are very aligned in keeping this city, this area, as a destination for women's basketball. And I know they're both recruiting internationally, and players on our team from all over. But we all share the vision that this could be just kind of a women's basketball hotbed. And there is so much talent in the area. The young girls coming up, it's pretty fun.
Edwin Garcia, Substitute World Coach. This is the first of 3 matchups now against the Sun. Based on what you've seen from them on tape, what makes them a challenging team to play against?
I do think, they've been hit with injuries and all sorts of things too, but they've got one of the best players in the history of our game, in Tina Charles. She's really good. You don't need me to sit up here and tell you that. But I think she's second all-time leading scorer in the league. And for me, watching them, they go as she goes. And it's not just, if she's playing well and scoring, everybody plays with a little more swagger, a little more confidence, a little more aggressiveness. So our challenge is to try to slow her down, and you're not going to hold the second all-time leading scorer to 0, but we've got to be locked in. It's not just, if Dearica's matched up on her, it's not just good luck, Dearica, Godspeed, hope you do well. We've all got to be engaged, and it's got to be five of us out there defending them, but knowing that she's kind of the engine of that group.
We'll finish on Zoom with Tarika.
Hey Coach, 2 questions for you. Number one, just can you talk about the emergence of Azure and just how important so she's become such a key piece for this team? Can you talk a little bit about that? And then second question, for Connecticut, Layla Lataj, she's been someone who has kind of provided a spark for them in these couple of games. how hard or challenging is it to kind of scout for a player like her
Yeah.
coming from the international level that doesn't have a lot of film, but you can see the impact she's making?
Yeah, great question. What was your first one? I got stuck on McCon. Oh, Azure, sorry.
First was an Azure.
Yeah. Sorry. Azare's been amazing and just steady. And, you know, she didn't have a great game individually against Minnesota, and I know that ticked her off. So I anticipate her to be, you know, extra locked in today. But I've described her as kind of the linchpin. When she's scoring, I think we're really good offensively. And when she's defending the way she's capable of and blocking shots and rebounding, we're really good defensively. So she's been kind of a X factor for us in that regard. She's also, the thing I appreciate about her is she's just so steady, consistent as just a human. You never have to wonder what Azure you're gonna get today. She's the same, just, you know, you could say low maintenance in that regard, which I really appreciate. You know, she's for the team, she's about the team, she's about winning. So she's been phenomenal for us. And McCann, yeah, she's played 3 games, I think, and you know, you can see her role every game getting bigger and bigger. She plays with so much energy and life, and you know, she's a great defender, super active and athletic. You know, she kind of reminds me of our Ray Burrell in terms of how she plays. But yeah, you can tell that she's a good fit for their system and with Rashid, and she's going to be a good player for them.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, appreciate you guys.